Hi everyone. Good evening. I'm so excited to be here again. Africation. I am Abigail Ayara, your host, and this evening we're going to talk all about this series. That's the Pathfinders series. For the young adults out there, um, session is specially made for you. But if you're not young adults, don't go anywhere. You can also benefit from this session. So we have a very intriguing topic this evening, and we have someone here to represent.
Welcome back. Hi everyone. My name is Bola Onyegoke and I'm your speaker for today. So today I'll be speaking on the power of your words and how the way you speak to yourself shape your career choices. Just to be sure that everyone is hearing. Okay, welcome back, Abigail.
Thank you. So you can go ahead, please. Kindly introduce
All
yourself to us.
right, like I said earlier, my name is Bola Onyegoke and I'm your speaker for today. And the topic I'll be speaking on today will be about the power of your words and how the very words you speak um, to yourself shapes your career choices. So, that's it.
Thank you very much. But I'd like to know you. Okay. Would like to know who you are, what do you make, and to the topic particularly.
Okay, can you come again? Said what?
Would like to know you to meet you yourself, like what you do as a career, and yes, before we go into the topic.
Okay. So, like I said, my name is Bola Onyegoke. I'm a writer and I'm a speaker and I'm an author. I'm an author and writer. So, yeah.
Okay, so is that what you chose from the start of your um from your youth on, really what you wanted to do from the onset?
Honestly, if anyone told me I would write or speak,
Can you hear me?
is that? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Go ahead. You can continue.
All right. So I said, if anyone told me I would be, I'll be a writer or a speaker from the onset, I would argue because my
Yes, yes,
back,
I can.
my background never said that. I never saw myself being a writer or a speaker. So I guess sometimes life just plays out the way you don't plan it. And when you discover who you are, you just have to go all in for it. That is
Thank you very much for being very honest about that. Life doesn't serve you what you expect. But what was
yeah.
your expectation at first when you graduated from your senior secondary school? What was your initial expectation? Were you among those few that lawyer, doctor, those high career path? What was your choice at first?
Um, at first, but aeronautic engineering. Yeah, that was my need. It's great, but I wanted to study at first. When I looked at that, the, the, that child where and the course kind of beyond my parents can like um afford. So I decided to okay. Although my dad was willing to push me forward to go for it, but at some point I just had to consider other people that are behind me, like my sisters too. They were in school at that point in time. I was like, okay, let me just change career paths. Let me go for mechanical engineering. So what I studied in school was mechanical engineering.
So how was the learning environment for you like? While you were there, did you feel that okay, this is exactly what I expected, or you felt like I think I need else, or I'm not really feeling it? How was it like for you those years?
Honestly, my time I never really learned just because it's an engineering course. Because there's sometimes be in class and then I will walk up to the board and things on the board, like some things, um, a statements, any sort of things. So people will be like, "Guy, what have you be a teacher?" So since then I started to be it. I'm like, okay, since this is what I found joy in, why not just dive into it? From then I started like making posts, writing, speaking. So that was how it began. Honestly.
Okay, so I just want to confirm again if you can hear me clearly because I'm about to ask the next question.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So for the career path you're taking now, what was the
Yes.
trigger? What was that thing that made you feel writing could be the ginger, could be the motivation to could just be what you really would love to do? That switch from the mechanical engineering to being a writer.
So what happened is I discovered I had a passion. I have a passion to I want to be able to
Okay, no questions. Oh my god.
so I want to be able to lead people like this is the truth, this is the right way. Let's walk it together. So that was it actually. Because even though I make I do quite a lot of things. I make films. So from my films, I noticed that even from my films, what I wanted to like portray in the videos I do are just to teach people new things. So everything that's kind of like that I found myself doing has to do with like teaching people new things or opening their eyes to things that they don't know about. So I was like, oh, so since this is what I always find myself in, so that means I have a passion for teaching people new things. So why not just embrace that part and go into it? So that was it.
Thank you very much for really outlining that. We really enjoyed through the path for you as a young adult. Why we took that angle is because we have a lot of young ones in our audience, and you want to make them know that sometimes it's okay to have a change. It doesn't mean your initially was a sign of confusion. No, it could just be a mental calculation you were making, considering your younger ones coming up and took interesting for you to choose what you're doing right now. So it means it's growing stage. It doesn't mean that you made a mistake at the firstly. But now let's dig deep and dive in into the main topic. Why did you choose this? The power of your word. What's the connection with that for our young adults, the Pathfinders?
Okay, so why I so about your words, I discovered that our words influences most of what we do, the decisions we make, and what we find ourselves doing. Because there are some situations that I found myself, and then along the way, instead of like going further into them, I found myself relapsing back because I always say things like, I'm not ready, I can't do this. So the instead of facing what's in front of me to grow, I always like relapse back from a place of fear. So along my journey, I realized that why am I relapsing back from things that I should be doing? And I realized that so during my research, I realized that the words that I speak to myself internally, because the words we speak create beliefs, and the beliefs we have create gives us an identity, and this helps us determines the decisions we make, choices we make. So when I discovered that, oh wow, so this is it. So definitely I need to put how dangerous it can be if you don't understand the power of our words or the things we speak. So I said, why not just put it out there to help younger generations, to help them navigate through their life and make the right choices, and not let them sabotage themselves and stop themselves from doing the things they are really passionate about. You're welcome back.
Hi, Golang. I'm so sorry. My network is very bad. I don't know where you left off. If you don't mind rephrasing just a few sentences, please.
Okay, can you ask a question?
Do you mind rephrasing a few sentences, please?
Yeah, ask the question again. Can you hear me? Oh,
I can hear you.
I said, can you rephrase the question back to me?
Do you mind rephrasing a few sentences you made?
Yes, but I need you to like throw the question back to me.
Okay. So you were discussing concerning between the topic you chose and the advice you want to give the young adults. So I was asking you to like dive in deep, and you were discussing a lot. So either you dropped off or where you stopped because the
Okay,
network. So I was hoping you could like a few sentences back so that I can follow along.
so I
Please.
said, along the journey, there are a lot of opportunities that, and during this opportunity, I know what it takes, to face the opportunity for internally, like, I not, so these words that I speak made me to like relax back from a place of fear, facing what it myself most time. I always like laughing. So this relax made me lose a lot of opportunities. So during my research, I found out that the reason why this is happening was because of the words I was speaking to myself internally. Because instead of using my words to to push forward, I was using my words internally to draw me backwards. So when I discovered this thing, I realized that oh wow, a lot of people need to know this thing, especially young adults, so they can be able to understand how to use their words to get what they want, to go after what they are passionate about, instead of operating from a place of fear. Hello.
Hello, Bolahun. How you doing?
Hi, yeah, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
fine. I'm
good
fine.
evening. You must be
Yeah, good evening.
so frustrated with Abigail's network.
It's fine. It happens. It's fine.
It happens, right? I'm sorry about that. I've been with you throughout the live stream. I've seen how far you've gone with things, but I'm more skeptical about. I know you must have mentioned about something like this. You must have touched it a bit, but these obstacles trying to hit your career,
Yes.
how was it really managed? When I say how was it really managed, I mean, how were you able to help yourself not fall into depression while trying to upskill, while trying to jump through the obstacle?
That's a very good question. So, like I said, I realized that my words, what I was going doing the things that I do. So instead of falling into depression, I mean, there are sometimes that it gets to you. But instead of falling into depression, I had to make my why is this happening to me, and what can I do to overcome this? So that was when I was able to come upon the power of our words, because the words we speak, what we self shapes shapes our beliefs. Yes, shapes our beliefs, and our beliefs shape our identity. Our beliefs give us an identity, and this identity determines whether we get to achieve what we want, or we back from a place of fear.
Hmm, great. So, based on this information right now, what would
Yeah.
you have done differently if you were to still focus on that career? What would you have done differently?
So I'll still focus on what.
Is there anything you would have done differently focusing on that career path? Is there anything you regret doing that you feel if I should have done it this way, maybe I would have gotten there sooner, maybe I would have gotten it better?
Hmm, very good question. But at the same time, I realized that everything happens at the right time. I don't know if that makes sense. Because there are sometimes we have regrets. But I don't like my regrets get to me. Because if hey, there are sometimes that the opportunity I lost, I better them, and then they sometimes hold me down. But it's a blessing. If I could understand what made me relapse back, then I could choose to move forward with what I learn more, get better at myself, how I can be able to use the same words that I've been using to push myself, use them to push myself forward. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, really does make sense. Well done. Um, we have Abigail back. I don't know if she has something to add. Abigail, nice to have you back.
Thank you.
All right.
So sorry.
Bolahon just finished expressing how much obstacle he has faced, and he also just talked about some things that he thought would have been better, which would him get to his career path sooner. Are you with me, Abigail?
Yes, I'm with you. I don't know if you can hear me clearly now.
Sure,
Yeah,
I
we
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Sure, I can
Okay.
hear you.
Thank you very much, Bolaho, for really taking your time to express that. I'm very sorry for the network disruption. So you mentioned some obstacles. Please, this
Yes.
is me pleading personally. Do you mind just phrasing one, just one, so that we know how to proceed? Because I wasn't here actually. Please, if you don't mind.
So one of the options would be, you know, let's to invite me for an interview. And on getting there, this interviewer knew that I have, you understand, knew that I have what it takes to get the job. But when I went back home, I went back home during the night, talked to myself of this opportunity because of the words that were going within myself. You understand?
Yeah, I get you.
Yo, so this by myself hold me back from moving into what I should have like in. Somehow these words made me fall back into old me that I used to be.
Hmm. So you're kind of saying that it helped you to re-strategize. You didn't just take that turn down as a problem from a problematic person. You didn't see the person as being problematic, but you saw it from an angle whereby you can actually re-strategize in order to attempt something like that again. I hope I'm on the same page with you.
Yes, yes, that's right. That's very right. Because I'm this person that I'm the kind of person that when I try to like pursue something I didn't get it, instead of letting that weigh me down. I mean, there are sometimes that you have to go through the roller coaster. But sometimes I always find myself, how do I better myself? How do I, in what way is that way that will make like it overcome my fears and go after?
Thank you very much for expressing that, Bolaho. So, at this point, we would like to know, with every stage of progress, let's be very honest, there are regrets. There are, had I known, and, you know, there are some things you learn and you be like, okay, something new at this stage,
Yes,
something
yes.
you would have done different. If you're looking at yourself 5 years ago, 10 years ago, what would you have done differently? This is because we have range of audience listening from different people, at different parts of their life. So they really want to know what would you have done different that can help them now to avoid what you actually did then.
Okay. So what I done differently was face my fears. Just go that I failed, I win because at the end of the day I will learn something. So let's go 5 years ago, or let's just say years ago. The typical old version of me would not be here currently talking to because after the conversation, everything, then I went back to myself. I would have talked myself out of this from a place of fear, from a place of can I even do this? Yes. not enough. What do I even have to say? What do I even have to contribute? Am I so these thoughts have, if it was the old version of me, I would have avoided this thing. So I would say that I avoided a lot of opportunities. I thought I wasn't ready. I thought I couldn't do them. So yeah, that was
Thank you very much for being honest.
yeah.
Honest that you lack
Please, the
experience.
next guy,
When you lack experience, the problem is.
the network is
You
breaking.
can go ahead.
The network is breaking. I couldn't hear you.
Okay. Okay. So in that at this point, no experience had you see that you had to face fears. Experience
Yeah,
actually outreach fear.
I didn't get that. Can you please come again?
Okay. I just wanted to confirm what you said, that your
Hmm.
experience actually helped you to face your fears.
Yes, yes, yes. Get better and face my fears. Yes,
Thank you. So I appreciate you for being honest. So,
yes.
what advice now? Let's come to the part of advising, facing these young ones. What advice would you like to give them in aspect of their career choices and in connection with your topic of choosing your words, the power of your words? What advice would you
Okay,
like? Would you like to list them out one after the other?
okay. So the advice of your words create identity. And if someone constantly tells not smart, I can't, or people like don't succeed, they start making instead of a place of potential. Because you can potential, people can see the potential in you, but if you don't have the belief or you don't repeatedly say to yourself that you are capable of doing whatever it is you do, you will always fall back to potential. Because there's a statement that says you can't run past what you call yourself. You can't run past what you call yourself because you can have the have all the skills, talents, but if the engine inside of you is not capable of like pushing you further, you will only go as little. You only go as little. But when you have the talent, you have the skills, and you have this internal dialogue of beliefs that you can do anything, combine these things together, you will be able to achieve things that you want to achieve. Because sometimes you don't get me wrong that it's just positive things doesn't like change your life, but um, um the words influence your mindset, and your mindset influence your action.
Thank you very much, Bolahom. I hope you can hear me though.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to pick one thing you mentioned, and what I'm picking is their thoughts. You said your thoughts leads to your words. Now, what advice will you give to young ones in terms of how to feed their thoughts? What advice or what will you recommend that they
Hmm.
do to feed their thoughts so that you know, it can transform their words and, their thinking ability and the rest?
So um, say is that your your words have a huge part in uh, in attaining the things you want or the career you will go into. Because we have to be careful about how we speak about ourselves. Because a lot of us have put limitations on our life because of how we were raised up. Because sometimes most of these things place of
Hi Bola, I can't hear you anymore. I'm sure it's not my network this time. Can you hear me? Okay, so the network is out. Just have to wait a few minutes for him to get back on, please. So we ask that you can wait just a few minutes so that we can get our speaker back on the call. I guess the network is dealing with him too. So just hold on a bit, please.
oh my days. I'm so sorry about that. A call just came in. Apologies about it. Apologies. Can you
Question,
hear me?
yes, I can hear you. Did you pick the question?
Yes, yes. You said how can the younger generation frame their thoughts, right? To help in achieving choosing the right career. Isn't that it?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay. So once again, sorry about that. So say a lot of career decisions are not based on skill because they are based on belief. Because first of all, I would like to ask you, what do you believe about yourself? And what do you believe about the career you are choosing? Because you need to understand these two things before diving into what you are trying to go to. Because sometimes it takes a while. Just like I was watching a, a video of I think Robbins the other day. Sometimes it takes more than what you think you are attaining what you want. But the only belief that we get to the end is it worth it? Is it going to worth it? How would it make you feel? How would it make your loved one feels? How would you make the world feel at large? So the belief about yourself and the career you are choosing will determine whether you will be able to attain it or give up when you should keep going.
Thank you very much, Balaho. So I'm just going to chip this in. How has social media, what effect has it had on the on the fact of like feeding the mind? Let's put it that way. Do you think social media has contributed in self-confidence or lack of self-confidence? Because yeah, just let's approach that first.
Okay. So what I would say is whatever it is, everything about life has it go as the back because what which side is focus on is what you read or what you experience. Because there's also a saying that says you don't you experience the life you focus on. So social media is a back and it's also hard. So you as a person get out of it depending on what you focus on. Because social media can either destroy you, it can also build you. So it depends on what you are using, how you are using it to build your life.
Thank you very much. I really hope the audience hear you clearly because the network kind of, made it very unclear. But
Okay.
I really hope, yes, I really hope they did hear you. But thank you very much. So, okay, would you like to say something?
I was I said I can repeat myself again.
Okay, okay, if you can.
Okay. So I said everything in life we have the tool to focus on determines what you get or what you experience because you don't experience. If you focus on the bad, but if you focus on the what you get, this determines whether it will build or ruin you. So that was what.
Okay, can you hear me go on?
Yeah, I can.
All right. So at this point, we would like to give the opportunity to make any final remark concerning, like in summary, concerning everything you've discussed so far, both from your personal experience, from your topic, and from the advice you want to give. If you will have any final remark before we conclude this session properly.
Conclusion, right?
Yes, please.
So what I say to you, what is whatever you go to, whatever you have chosen, please, before you like it, it's good what and what is your belief? Last thing I would say is when you discover this, the beliefs you have, beliefs you have about the career you are choosing, whether it will be worthy, always say to yourself, wherever you find yourself, even if you find yourself at the roadblock, always say to yourself that back. That's one like to get away. Always say to yourself that you are, because whenever you find yourself in a position where it is tough, it could be in your career or anywhere, but when you repeat to yourself that I am capable, I am, because what you repeat compounds, what compounds becomes your beliefs. Your beliefs, just like you say you are, when you say you are capable, you you repeat it repeatedly, it creates this new identity. So this new identity will give you the direction. So this new identity will help you make the right decision, and this right decision put you into the right direction.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So we want to use this opportunity to thank you once again, Balahon. It's unfortunate that the network didn't make things so clear from my end and from your own end. But yeah, thank you so much for really taking the time to express that, to really develop that topic, the power of your words. And from my take home, personally, from everything you've discussed, we see that what we feed our minds is very important, including when we have setbacks. And I think as young ones, setbacks will be more than your wins. You will have a lot of failures than your wins. So the ability to feed your mind with words that will help you to grow from your failings can help you
Yeah,
reshape your career. So I'm just rephrasing that, okay? Just in case the things you said did not, hear because of the network. But thank you
okay.
so much. Yes, we really appreciate you and your time and everything. And for our audience, we promise not to serve you any less. You know that for the Pathfinders series, it is designed specifically to help those who are trying to navigate their career path. It doesn't have to be only tech. Whatever course or whatever path you're taking, it has to be something you know will lead you to your right destination. And we hope that this session has fulfilled that purpose. Next time we'll have a different session, different speaker. But for now, we want to close it and we hope that you join us for the next section. So once again, Bolaho Oyegoke, thank you very much for your time.
So thank you, Abigail. Yeah,
Yes, and we hope to have more of you in the future.
sure. Thank you. And thanks. Oh,
Sorry, I
say
didn't hear
thanks to
that.
the host.
Oh, you're welcome. So do have a wonderful evening, and for the audience, we hope to see you for our next Circus Africa session. Bye.